Hey, everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, and today, we're diving into one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, the Jefferson nickel. Specifically, we're going to talk about the 2002 Jefferson nickel, its circulated value, and some interesting facts you may not know about this small but mighty coin. So, if you love coins or are looking to add a few to your collection, you're in the right place. Let's get started. First things first, let's talk about the Jefferson nickel itself. The nickel was first introduced in 1938 and features a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, or front side, and a depiction of his home, Monticello, on the reverse. Over the years, the design has changed slightly, but the 2002 nickel, like all the modern iterations, stays true to this classic imagery. The 2002 Jefferson nickel has the traditional design we all know, a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, facing left. Above his portrait, it says, Liberty, and below is the year of minting, 2002. Monticello, Jefferson's famous home in Virginia, is depicted in all its architectural glory. Below Monticello, you'll see E pluribus unum, which means, out of many one, and United States of America. The coin is also marked with its denomination, 5 cents. This design, especially the reverse, has remained relatively unchanged, with only minor updates over the years. Now, let's talk about the minting details of the 2002 Jefferson nickel. This year, like many others, saw the production of nickels at several U.S. mint facilities. The Philadelphia Mint produced the standard coins, and they have no mint mark. The Denver Mint produced additional coins, marked with a D. The San Francisco Mint also made proof versions of the nickel, marked with an S, but these are for collectors and aren't typically found in circulation, so, if you come across a 2002 nickel with no mint mark, it's from Philadelphia. One with a D is from Denver, and one with an S is a proof coin from San Francisco. Alright, let's get into the big question. What's the circulated value of a 2002 Jefferson nickel? In short, it's worth exactly 5 cents, just like its name. But there's more to it than that. While it's worth its face value, collectors and coin enthusiasts often pay attention to the condition of the coin, its mint mark, and any unique features that could affect its market value. The most obvious factor is the condition of the coin. A well-worn nickel, one that's been circulating for years, may not be worth much more than 5 cents. But if you find one in near-perfect condition, it could be worth a little more to a collector. The term uncirculated means the coin has never been used in everyday transactions and is in pristine condition. As we mentioned earlier, the mint mark is another important factor. Coins from different mints, Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, can have slight variations in value. For example, a coin from the Denver Mint might have a small premium in certain collector circles due to the mintage numbers or specific collecting trends. Occasionally, error coins, like a coin with a double die or misalignment, can fetch a higher price. However, error 2002 nickels are rare, and most of them are still found in regular circulation. And of course, the demand for the coin by collectors can drive its price up. With a large mintage in 2002, the Jefferson nickel isn't particularly rare, which means the demand for it doesn't push its value too high. But if you're looking for a coin that's easy to find, this is one of those. So, what should you look for if you're checking through your change to see if your 2002 Jefferson nickel is worth more than 5 cents? Here are a few things to keep in mind. As I said before, check the mint mark to see where it was produced. Look for coins that are as close to uncirculated as possible, shiny, with no visible wear or scratches. Keep an eye out for any unique errors like doubled lettering or unusual die cracks that could make the coin more valuable. As of right now, a regular 2002 Jefferson nickel in circulated condition isn't going to break the bank. You can find it in your pocket change or purchase them for their face value. However, well-preserved, uncirculated examples or those with interesting errors can sometimes fetch around $1 to $5 depending on the market and collector interest. Some special proof versions from the San Francisco Mint might be priced higher, especially if they're graded well. So, there you have it. The 2002 Jefferson nickel is a relatively common coin, still worth its face value of 5 cents in circulation, but it could be worth a little more if you find a particularly well-preserved specimen or an error coin. Remember, condition is key, and as with all coins, rarity and demand will ultimately determine its value in the collector market. 1989 Jefferson nickel. We'll explore its circulated value, history, and everything you need to know about this 5-cent coin. So, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. First, let's take a look at the history behind the Jefferson nickel, which has been in circulation since 1938. It was designed by Felix Schlag, and the coin features Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse. This design has become a hallmark of American numismatics. The reverse of the coin showcases Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia home, along with the inscription E pluribus unum and the denomination 5 cents. Over the years, the coin's design has seen a few changes, but the 1989 version still maintains the classic look that we're all familiar with. Now, let's talk specifics about the 1989 Jefferson nickel. This coin was minted at the U.S. Mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. It weighs 5 grams and is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It's a standard issue coin, meaning it was produced in large quantities for regular circulation. The 1989 version of the Jefferson nickel wasn't part of any special limited edition series or commemorative issue. It's just a regular coin, but that doesn't mean it isn't interesting or valuable. Let's talk about that value. So, what's the value of the 1989 Jefferson nickel today? Well, if you're holding on to one of these coins in your pocket change, it's worth exactly 5 cents. That's right, as a regular circulated coin, the 1989 nickel is worth no more than its face value. But, and here's the big but, not all 1989 Jefferson nickels are the same. The value can vary based on condition, mint mark, and whether you have any special varieties. For example, if you find a coin in pristine condition, say a mint state, uncirculated coin, it could fetch a bit more. But, in most cases, unless it's an exceptional condition or a rare variety, this coin will stay at 5 cents. Let's talk about a few factors that could make the 1989 Jefferson nickel more valuable. First, coin grading is important. If you have a 1989 nickel in what's known as uncirculated condition, which means it hasn't seen much wear, it could be worth around 10 to 20 cents. If it's graded high, say, in MS65 condition, you could see values ranging from 25 to 50 cents or more. Another thing to keep in mind is the mint mark. Coins minted in Philadelphia typically don't have a mint mark, while those from Denver have a D, and those from San Francisco have an S. These mint marks are generally not rare, but depending on the condition, they could make a slight difference in value. In general, though, 1989 nickels are fairly common, so what else affects the value of your 1989 Jefferson nickel? Well, it's all about rarity and demand. The 1989 nickel was minted in huge quantities, so unless you find one with a special feature, like a minting error or something unique, it's unlikely to increase in value dramatically. That said, there are always exceptions. For example, some collectors hunt for coins with specific flaws or errors, like misprints, double strikes, or off-center minting. If you happen to find a 1989 nickel with a noticeable error, it could be worth more. But keep in mind, these kinds of coins are rare. If you're starting to collect Jefferson nickels, the 1989 version is a good place to start, especially if you're looking to complete a collection of nickels from different years. But remember, focus on the condition of the coin. Coins in better shape will naturally be worth more, even if they're from a common year like 1989. Make sure to store your coins properly. Use coin flips or holders to prevent damage, and if you really want to take care of your collection, you might want to consider getting your valuable coins professionally graded. And don't forget to check for those rare errors. You never know when you might find a hidden gem. In conclusion, while the 1989 Jefferson nickel is primarily worth its face value, it's still an interesting and important part of America's coinage history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, it's always good to keep an eye out for coins that might have special features or rare conditions. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938 and remains one of the most iconic coins in U.S. numismatics. The coin was designed by Felix Schlag, a German-born sculptor, after he won a design competition held by the U.S. Mint. It features Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, front, and Monticello, Jefferson's estate in Virginia, on the reverse, back. The Jefferson nickel replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. The new coin was introduced in 1938 to honor President Jefferson's contributions to the United States, particularly his role in the Louisiana Purchase, and as the author of the Declaration of Independence. The obverse of the coin, designed by Schlag, features a profile of Thomas Jefferson. This design is iconic and remains one of the most recognized depictions of a U.S. president on coinage. The image of Jefferson on the nickel is considered one of the finest portrayals of a U.S. leader on a coin. The reverse of the coin features Monticello, Jefferson's estate, which reflects his importance as a Virginia planter, architect, and founder of the University of Virginia. The Monticello design was also created by Schlag, and it's considered a tribute to Jefferson's classical architectural style and his personal legacy. The original design of the Jefferson nickel remained largely unchanged until 2004, when the U.S. Mint introduced a series of new reverse designs to celebrate the bicentennial of the Louisiana Purchase. In 2006, a new reverse featuring Monticello was issued again as part of the series. In addition to these changes, the obverse design of the coin has been modified twice. The first modification came in 2006, when a new image of Jefferson was used, based on the famous Rembrandt Peale portrait of Jefferson. The 1989 Jefferson nickel, like most modern nickels, is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it its distinctive color. It weighs 5 grams and has a diameter of 21.21 mm. The Jefferson nickel is an important part of U.S. coinage history because it was the first coin to honor an American president since the introduction of the Indian head cent in 1859. Its design and depiction of Jefferson reflect his significant influence on the early history of the United States, and it was well received by the public upon its release. The 1989 Jefferson nickel is part of the long tradition of the coin, but like many older coins, it has been affected by factors like inflation and modern coin production methods. Despite this, it remains a staple of everyday transactions and holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. The Jefferson nickel remains in circulation to this day, with its design unchanged in form since 1938, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. While the nickel is primarily worth its face value, 5 cents, rare versions, such as those in uncirculated condition or with special minting errors, can have higher value. The coin's historical and cultural significance makes it a beloved part of American numismatic heritage. The 1989 version of the Jefferson nickel, like many others, may not hold significant rarity, but it is a key coin in understanding the ongoing history of American coinage and the lasting legacy of 1987 Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned numismatist, stick around as we break down its circulated value, history, and some cool facts that might just surprise you. Let's get started. So, here we have the 1987 Jefferson nickel. This 5-cent coin has been circulating in the U.S. for quite some time, and it's a piece of American coinage that holds a special place in numismatic history. But how much is it worth today? Let's talk about that. First, let's take a look at the coin's design. The obverse, or front, features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This image was first created by artist Felix Schlag in 1938 and has remained relatively unchanged over the years. On the reverse side, we see Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, along with the inscription A Pluribus Unum and the coin's denomination, 5 cents. Now, let's dive into the value of the 1987 Jefferson nickel in circulated condition. As you might know, coin values can vary depending on factors like the coin's condition, mintage, and rarity. For this coin, here's what you can expect in circulated condition. A 1987 Jefferson nickel is worth, well, just 5 cents. But that's not the full story. You see, the value of any coin can fluctuate depending on its condition, and when we talk about circulated coins, we're talking about coins that have been in actual use. Most of these nickels won't be worth more than face value unless they're in exceptional condition. Most of the 1987 nickels you'll find in your pocket will have some signs of wear and tear. You might see scratches, discoloration, or a worn-down image of Jefferson. Coins like this one, with moderate wear, still hold a value of around 5 cents, but they might not have much added value. Now, let's talk about unusual conditions. If you happen to find a well-preserved 1987 nickel, one that has been in excellent condition and is free from significant damage, you might see a slight premium. These coins can sell anywhere from 10 to 25 cents, depending on their preservation. In perfect, mint condition, known as MS-65 or better, you could even see it reaching closer to 50 cents or a bit more. Another factor in determining the value of a coin is the mintage. The U.S. Mint produced millions of Jefferson nickels in 1987, specifically, over 500 million. While that means these coins are far from rare, it also means that there's a large supply of them in circulation. So, unless you come across a coin with a unique flaw or misprint, you probably won't be looking at anything too valuable. But let's talk about some exceptions. Some rarities can still make certain 1987 nickels more valuable. For example, if you find one with an error, like a double die or a mistruck coin, you might have a little treasure on your hands. These kinds of errors can push the value of the coin beyond just a few cents. But, again, these types of finds are very rare, and most 1987 Jefferson nickels won't have any noticeable errors. Alright, let's talk about collectability. While the 1987 Jefferson nickel may not be the most exciting coin in terms of value, it's still a great coin for collectors who are focused on completing a series or collecting all the nickels from a specific era. A lot of collectors enjoy having these coins as part of their collection because they represent a piece of American history, and of course, it's always fun to find coins from different years. Before we wrap up, here are a few quick tips for anyone interested in collecting 1987 Jefferson nickels. Coins with fewer scratches and no corrosion will always be worth a little more. Keep an eye out for double dies, off-center strikes, and other minting flaw. If you think you found a coin in excellent condition, consider getting it graded by a professional numismatist. A certified grade can make all the difference if you ever decide to sell or trade. Store your coins in a dry, cool place, away from excessive handling, to preserve their condition. Thanks for sticking around, everyone. If you learned something new about the 1987 Jefferson nickel, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin-related content. Have you found any interesting coins lately? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear about your collections. Until next time, keep on collecting, and remember, every coin tells a story. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on social media for more updates and behind-the-scenes looks at our latest videos.